I mean, 13-year-olds like YouTube all the time. Like, it
Right.
can't be that hard.
I think that they were looking at doing it similar to how Gettysburg has theirs, with a professional video in the back. They have microphones at each board member's table. They have a microphone at the podium. And they were also looking at the potential for this system to be mobile, so that other places in the district could use it, and it wouldn't be stationary to the boardroom. However, there are other alternatives out there. This board being very cost conscious, we have been slow to spend taxpayer money on something that we're hoping that we're able to work out with minimum expense possible. So as we continue, and I told this to Dr. Moyer after the last one, I said, if this camera does not work this meeting, we're shutting it down, and we're going to have to go back to the drawing board. We think that we're at a place to where to me, the audio has gotten back to the quality that it was before when it was solely audio,
I don't think people
and
said that.
now it's video.
I
So,
don't think people said the audio was good, but
well, I don't think the audio's ever been great.
Not on Facebook. Facebook is very muffled.
Last word on that, go ahead.
I have a different question, different topic. Is that okay?
I guess we'll make an exception.
I'll keep going if you want.
No, go ahead.
So earlier this year, there was a pretty serious situation at Alloway Creek that I think was just kind of ignored, and there was a kill list that was created, and we heard about this, and as a parent of a kid in that classroom, it was alarming to learn about this from other parents who said they were interviewed about this, and then literally nothing came out. So I'm just curious, did all of the parents who had this interview lie? Like, this wasn't a social media thing, because I'm not on social media.
I don't know.
Dr. Berryman, do you know anything at all about that?
It hasn't come to the board level, so we don't know what you're talking about.
And I'm sorry, I have no history on that.
Okay.
So
I will have to look into
You said
that.
Alloway Creek, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys might.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It was something in fourth grade.
it was
so-
fourth.
when?
Sometime in the fall.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
This year?
Yeah,
No, it was this year.
it was this year.
The term we're talking
Yeah,
about.
within the last 60 days, kind of.
Yes.
Did you speak to Mr. Moran?
No, because it was like, I assumed the school wouldn't say something at some point about it, because it was like, so what are you guys doing about this?
So,
Yeah.
there's a chain of command you have to go through for
Well, there's
policy.
a kill list.
And so a lot of things don't ever get to the school board
That would go
unless
right to the top.
it's brought to us in that chain of command, or somebody in the community tells us. So it never came to the board, so we don't know what you're talking about.
And we,
I'll see what I can find out about that.
yeah, we're gonna have our senior administration look into that.
If that's a concern, the authority should be called, like number one,
Yeah, absolutely.
right away.
That's what I say, that was my concern too in that.
I would be very surprised if Mr. Moran did not take immediate action on that. We do have a local celebrity here. I just wanted to give him a minute before. Dan, I appreciate you coming tonight. Dan is our staff member representative for the teachers and so on. And he's been here quite a while and so on. Dan, would you, just in general regarding the morale of our staff and some any general thoughts or advice that you have for our group here? Because you're highly this guy's got a lot of credibility with our professional staff, and I appreciate the relationship that we've developed in such a short time. And actually, full disclosure, I know him from a previous life.
Long time ago. My name's Dan Lawrence. I'm one of the health and PE teachers at the high school. I'm also, I've been 29 years in education, 21 here at Littlestown, 13 as the Teachers Association president. I'm very proud of this district. I'm proud of everything that's happened here. I graduated from Delone in 1991, and that kind of made me the enemy at least at the start. I was in this auditorium 21 years ago when I got my Bolt pen, and I never really thought about it until just several years ago when I went to a Littlestown and Delone football game, and somebody asked me who am I going to root for? Who am I rooting for? Thankfully, I stood in the end zone. I usually stand in the end zone for games and things like that. But I'm vested here, very vested here. Not so much there anymore. Your students that you've entrusted us with over the years, over the last 21 years, I think, One of the guys that was here was a former student of mine that's starting to date back, and I'm starting to have many of their children as they're coming through, as I know with many of the board members. I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to teach here. We do fantastic things here with your kids, 1,000,000%. I've been asked a number of times, why don't I speak up at board meetings, or why don't I ask the board certain things. I've only addressed the board in my 13 years 2 times via a letter, and it was just to say that, you know, a lot of times some of the infighting and some of the things that go on don't help make our job any easier. The easiest part of teaching is being with your kids every day. That's the easy part. The hard part is managing the adult and the bureaucracy and things like that that go on. None of that's going to change my opinion. None of what we do here and what we do for all of our kids. The gentleman that left here a little earlier was absolutely right. There is a way to figure this all out. We're all good people. We all are passionate about certain things, and that would just be my, you know, moving forward. My hope for the board and for our community is to, you know, realize we're all here for the safety and education of our students, first and foremost. And if we can, I've listened to board meetings and have been happily bored when we just go about things. You all can disagree on, you know, on the finances, on everything else. I don't get involved because one of the deals I've made with Dr. Moyer and Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Bell and Mr. Bigger and Dr. Wills, you know, several years ago, is that I'll do my best to take care of our staff and the things they're doing in the classroom, and you all can take care of each other. I never want to see any adults ruin things for our kids. And I think really, despite some of the negative presses, we have so many good things going on here with our students, and that has to be laid back at the board's feet too, because you do allow those things to happen. So I appreciate that. It's the last thing I need to say, unless there's a question for me.
Dan,
but I am happy to. I was going to do this at the end of last year. I do meet with Dr. Moyer monthly. I am willing to meet with board leadership, even on a quarterly basis. The last thing you need is another meeting, but I'm certainly available if there is ever a question on what our staff believes or what our staff thinks or what we feel or how we plan to respond or react to anything. I'm not limited in my speech. I'll happily tell you, anybody that knows me knows that I'll give you my opinion on anything at any time. And I'm absolutely willing to do that with each and every one of you, and I appreciate it.
Dan, thank you. We've been here quite a while. I think.
I'm quick.
No.
I'll be quick.
Don't. You don't have to be quick. But ask your question, and then I want to do one final activity to wrap this up. And then if you're like me and you leave here tonight and you're thinking, darn, I wish I would have asked that or whatever, I want you to contact us and ask that, and we will try to get back to you in a timely manner. So one final question, then I have an activity for the board that I'm going to put them through for you, and then your torture is over tonight. Go ahead.
So I have a question at the end, but I also have a general statement. My intention to come tonight was certainly not to make anyone feel bullied or put down. My name is Angelina Brumgard. I have 2 children in the district. I know most of you. I voted for most of you. Actually, all of you. Everyone that's here that's been voted, I voted for you. If you aren't happy with who is here, then run. You run. You make the stand. You be the one. And if you don't win, then obviously your opinion isn't the same as everyone else's. But if you are going to come here, your objective needs to be for the greater good of our kids. There should be no other reason that you're here. So if you're here to cause problems, write a letter. Don't come here and waste time. This meeting took way longer than it needed to be because we're talking about things that have already been voted on. It's done. Things that are budgeted for are budgeted for. Food is budgeted for food. The stadium had a budget. There are grants that you can't spend the money that was given for the stadium on curriculum. You can't. That's not how it works. You can't spend the money that was for food on special education. I wish you could. I have children in special education, but you can't. It's not the way it works. It's not the way the funding works. So if you don't like the way it's being spent, run for office. It's that simple. My question is, when there is an emergency situation, such as the unfortunate thing that happened last week, which was devastating for everyone involved, our students, the staff member.
Right.
I mean, obviously, no one is looking at him thinking like we should go, burn his car. It's terrible. And I feel for him as a person in every sense of the way. But what can we do as a district to provide a better communication system in things like that, instead of it being just an email? We get the messages, the calls, right, or the texts that say, this is Superintendent whoever, this is what's happened today. I would feel more comfortable hearing that than just getting an email.
Well,
I'd really like to see that happen in the future.
I'm going to take part responsibility for that. And I was relying on what has been past practice with situations. This was a pretty unique situation. That is one thing that maybe we might do differently, where I would do a call out and so on. But so I appreciate that.
Or anytime there's, like the suspected, time that's locked down, even if it is for a medical emergency, just even if it's Courtney Golden. Hi, this is Courtney Golden. I just want to let you know, all of your children are safe. Hearing that voice.
We caught him in the home.
Right.
Yeah,
Hearing that voice, knowing that your children are safe and everything is okay, we have everything under control. We'll update you as we get more information, but the school is locked down at this time. My 2 other children go to Catholic school. That's what they do. They send out an emergency alert. We get the phone call. And then it just makes us feel better to know a familiar voice as to what's going on. So that would be my only question, is if we can implement something like that. And I think you all are doing a wonderful job. And I know that this is not an easy position, and I thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you. Hang on to that. Hang on to that. I wanted to get this final thing through, and then maybe we can answer your question as well. Sure. Board members, before we get out of here tonight, I wanted to give every one of you, and I know Nick and Jeannie have been speaking mostly on behalf of the board, and rightly so. But I want to give every one of you, if you have any reactions to, the feedback from our community here tonight, and any final thoughts that you would want to share. Not to put you on the spot, Mr. Perez, but you're at the end of the table there, so.
Hi, Phil Perez again, and thank you very much. You have been an added great resource for our school, and like you've mentioned before, you're always available if anybody wants to come ask questions and meet with you. You constantly said, yeah, I'll be available. Same thing with Dr. Berryman. Great job, and thank you. And as you mentioned before, Dr. Berryman, the staff, the teachers, everybody, U.S. News and World Reports, I think it was, places our school number 75 in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. This is a great school system. So thank you.
Thank you. Janelle.
Mrs. Brumgard kind of hit it on the head. We all got on the board, the community, whether it was you or your neighbor, voted and placed us here in this position. It's not easy. To sit at a board meeting every week and be berated by somebody from the community who already has heard the facts and then goes to social media and shares things that are not true. And you as a public official can't do anything about it. It's hard. I had 2 kids that graduated from this school. They love it. One just got married and tried to buy a house in Littlestown. And everybody loves Littlestown because the prices are going like $20,000, $30,000 over. And he and his wife would still like to bring their, when they have family back to Littlestown, but right now that's not feasible. They love this town. I love this town. That's why I got on this board. I'm a very passionate person. Many of you have seen me on the sidelines. I give back a lot of my time to the community by taking pictures for your athletes, for your students to have. I love it. I don't do it for a thank you. I do it because I love it. And I was that parent who wished I would have had all those pictures. And so I love giving back. I love serving. I have a servant's heart, which is kind of the reason I'm here. I would say the majority of the board, we work very well together. We don't always agree, and there can be some strong discourse. But, and I didn't finish, I have 3 little guys that my husband and I we adopted. And they are almost all in middle school. I can't wait to we're in the middle school stage. I love our elementary school, but starting over 10 years, that's kind of why I got invested. I wasn't a part of the school board and meetings when my older 2 boys came through. They're 10, our older 2 and our younger 3 are are 10 years apart. And then COVID happened and started getting involved and decided it was time to run. And so I've invested a long time in this community. I have kids, all three of my boys are in 7th, 6th, and 5th grade. They play sports. We are always here, involved in so many areas of the school, and we do that because we love this town, we love this community, and we love serving. And so, you know, that's why I'm running again. And it isn't easy. We do have to make very hard decisions. Sometimes maybe they're not the right decision. But if I can also share that you have a lot of school board members who pray over this community and our teachers, our staff, and our students on a daily basis.
Thank you. Donna.
Good evening. I wanted to thank all of you for coming out tonight. As much as we go to a lot of meetings and attend a lot of public events, I want to thank you for taking time out of your evening to come out and spend time with us and ask tough questions. I'm running for school board on this board to be able to keep my seat because I'm passionate about public education. I bring with me 10 years of experience on a school board in Frederick County, Maryland that's probably 90% larger than this school system. So I think I have a lot to offer Littlestown. I live here in town. I've lived here for several years now. I moved from Maryland here to Pennsylvania to retire. And I thought I was out of education. And the longer I was out of it, the more I wanted to be in it. And I really like this little town. I care about the people that reside here. So I'm running to hopefully improve your school, improve the student scores, hopefully improve this board, and with a very strong eye to keeping your taxes down. That's very important to me. So I thank you again for coming on tonight.
Thank you, Donna.
Yep.
Jeannie. Oh.
Me and Jeannie have talked.
Oh, okay,
We'll
okay.
move to Steve, and then you can come back to us.
Mr. Sullivan? Dwayne?
First off, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. When I entered into this 2023, I never thought it would be so hard. The dichotomy of the board was totally different back when I was filming the meetings when Dean Nestor was president. But they never really had an issue at all. I came on here, my objective was to be the mouthpiece for the district. I had done a lot of door knocking in 2022, and I've heard a lot of stories from people at their front doors. And I felt compelled to run, not for myself, but for the district. And I really care about this district. I've never had any children in this district. I've always lived in Maryland up until 2005. But when I moved in here, I liked the tiny-knit community that Littlestown is. I like the cohesion that this community brings. It's a nice hometown. I would like to see this district be somewhere everybody wants to move to. I would like to see it reach that level. I can't tell you how disheartening it is for me to hear over the years that people don't want to move here because they don't like this district's education. I've heard it multiple times. I would like to see us be the place they do want to come. My heart is in this. I don't have a personal issue in this district. My heart's in it. I am here for you all. I'm not here for me. So if you all want to reach out anytime to me at any meeting, at any time, please do. I'm a listener. I'll try to adjust to the things that the constituents, taxpayers, residents, and parents need. So I would appreciate it if we could have an open dialogue more often with our community, because our community is who we serve. We forget sometimes when we're elected to an official position that we are not supposed to serve ourselves. We're supposed to serve the district. It's not about us. So I just wanted to thank everybody for taking the time to listen to us tonight, to come out. I would like to see more involvement by the residents and taxpayers, parents of this district. I really would. Because I think, like I said, our community is an awesome community. And again, thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for sitting through and bringing your questions tonight. And I'm just happy to be here. Thank you very much, and you all have a good evening.
Dwayne, thank you. Steve.
Hi, my name is Steve Yerger. I am running for school board, and being on the budget committee, we were able to make a recommendation for zero tax increase for this next 25-26 school year. We were sitting sound and good, and you know, all the complexities and everything that goes on, there's a lot of decisions that are made. We depend on the administration to give us good information so that we can make good decisions. And we make our decisions collectively as a board of 9 and not a board of 1. So I really appreciate y'all coming out tonight. This was an amazing meeting. It was run very well. Thank you, Dr. Moyer. Thank you all for you know, doing it right and actually being civil. And maybe this is a good practice moment. We go to our meetings in the school board, we can follow what was set here as a precedent moving forward and be able to, you know, be about our business and in governance in the district. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Dr. Berryman, any final thoughts on your end?
I would just say I didn't really know what to expect this evening, how many people would come out, and I was pleasantly surprised by the number of people that came out. The questions that we got were really good questions. I took some notes down to take back to the building levels that we need to work on or, you know, flush out some ideas with. Dawn and the gentleman in the back, if you could please see me before you leave, I would appreciate that. So thank you, everybody, for coming out.
Thank you. Board officers, any final thoughts on your end?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for coming out. And in the news recently, there's been, not around here, but in other states, school closings because enrollments are down. We are going to have our second retirement community, and we are a small town. Our enrollment is down, and we're trying to do everything we can to follow our policies strictly and the laws and the Sunshine Act on purpose so that, you know, there isn't any confusion of how things are supposed to be run or if we're doing it properly or not. So if we seem strict in meetings, it's because we're trying to follow things perfectly so that we don't, you know, have lawsuits or whatever. I'm not trying to bring anything up against Suzanne, but if we want people to want to move here, we want enrollment to increase, and we need to be have positive things on social media, in the news, and that's what we're aiming for. So if you could just work with us in these meetings, it would be helpful.
Thank you, Jeannie. Nick?
All right, I really would like to thank each and every one of you for coming this evening. This has been a great session to hear from the community and really engage in a dialogue. This community engagement is important. It's important for us as your elected officials to hear the things that you want us to speak about, to do, to act upon. We heard things tonight that we were sometimes the first time hearing about them. And we've heard some different perspectives on issues that we have addressed in the past. So we appreciate all of these perspectives merging. I think that it would be great for the board to, at some point, do this again in the future. I hope when we do that, that everyone can get behind that. I hope that we pack even more people into the auditorium, and I hope that board members, especially if you are in favor of doing things like that, would refrain from discouraging people from coming at future events. But I really appreciate everyone that has been here tonight. I appreciate Dr. Moyer for doing an excellent job moderating this evening. And please, if there are any follow-up questions that you have, if there are any additional questions that you have, please contact the board email online, Dr. Moyer, Dr. Berryman, and board leadership, where our administrators would love to get back to you and talk to you about your issue.
Thank you, Nick. I also want to just express how appreciative I am of you all taking time out of your schedules to be here tonight. I do want you to know I'm really enjoying getting to know more of you and getting to know the board members here, and I do believe they're pretty darn dedicated and passionate, every one of them. If you did not get a chance to ask your question tonight, even if you want to hang around a little bit afterwards and just talk to us individually, that would be great. We're willing to hang around for a little while longer, but I don't want to hold you too much longer. But please, if you have any unresolved issues, come to us, communicate it. Don't get frustrated. All right. Let us try to respond. It may not be exactly what you were hoping for, but hopefully you're going to get a response and you're going to get an answer. The final thing I'm going to say before I let you go, being a superintendent of a school is not a part-time job. I'm here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I want to say a personal thank you to Dr. Berryman. There are times, as a result of me only being here 3 days a week, which is the best I can do right now, there are times where she has to take on more responsibilities. So I want to personally thank her, and I think she's doing a terrific job in that regard. If you would like to hang around a little longer and ask us anything, please do. Otherwise, you are...
I forgot the man right there in this.
Yeah, he's going to hang around afterwards and talk.
I had a pretty short question, but it's...
You got it. Go ahead. How can we say no to a good-looking guy like that?
Appreciate that. I have 2 students in the district, one in Alloy Creek, one here. And I had kind of a general statement. I heard earlier somebody saying that we did an internal investigation. You know, I hear that come up a lot in Congress. Oh, we did an internal investigation. Well, who, like, you know, and then there was a gentleman in the back that had made a comment about a kill list. My daughter told me that there was 3 lockdowns in the last week at the school she's at Alloy Creek. Nobody told me about this. So when we do an internal investigation, who decides who gets to know what? Because I'm also concerned about some sexual harassment issues I've heard. And I'm not going to bring up a teacher that's at this school. And my son brought this to my attention, that it's common knowledge that this person likes to look down girls' shirts. That I talked to my niece who went here, and she says, oh yes, we reported this person, but nothing came of it. And any number of people I've talked to, lots of people have, oh yeah, that's how that person is. Well, we can't do anything because they're insulated due to like unions or something. I don't know. But my concern is, I see a lot of people kind of look like, oh, I've never heard about that before. So how many people have to report this issue before it's taken seriously? Because if multiple students are saying, and I know, rumors happen, but my son mentions, my friend's sister's, feels like she has to cover herself because, this person drops pencils.
Oh my! I heard this too.
Yep. That's
I
what
heard
my
this
son-
too.
That's what my son is in.
So you said you had a simple question. You lied.
I'm sorry. I wanted to say something earlier.
Let me just, can I just say this?
I heard this too.
Can I just say this? In my 40 years being in the field, there are sometimes people that make other people feel uncomfortable. When you do an investigation, you talk to everybody that's involved, and you come and you take the best action that you feel is reasonable. What did the person say or do that was inappropriate? And sometimes everybody and staff members deserve due process. And they deserve fairness as well. So I would just say, if you have specific concerns or allegations like that, go through the chain of command, make the people aware of it, and I can promise you, from what I've learned just in the month that I've been here, we got good people that will follow up and will do an investigation, and if they need to take action, they will. But they're also going to treat people fairly. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Dr. Moyer, if I can just chime in real quickly on that. Yes.
What was that the Dante situation?
Well, so that's what I want to say. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just real quick though, so when we talk about, there's a couple terminology things that are not accurate, so I just want to help out with that. At Alloy Creek, we've had 3 medical emergencies. Yes. And so they're called restricted movements. They're not lockdowns. Like when we do lockdowns, it's because, well, usually they're a drill. Like we don't normally do lockdowns as a matter of practice, they're generally drills, but a lockdown would